BSing with
Who?
BSing with
What?
BSing with Sean K. BSing with
Who?
BSing with
What?
BSing with Sean K. BSing with
Who?
BSing with
What?
BSing with Sean K. BSing with Sean K.
Okay, so this is the BSing with Sean K podcast. I'm your host, Sean Kneese, and I interview people from all walks of life pursuing their passions in one way or another. And today my guest is Viviana Duncan. She's a poet and spoken word artist and the founder of the Stark Reality Open Mic in New York City. So thanks for coming on. And,
Well, thank you.
And just tell us a bit about yourself and your open mic and your poetry and how you got started with all that.
Oh, well, as you know, my name is Viviana Duncan, formerly known as Viviana Grell, but I ditched my ex-husband's name and my father's name, and I got my own name. So now it's going to be Viviana Duncan when the judge signs the order. But that will be my Christmas present. To answer your question, I started writing when I was about 13, and I got pissed off at my parents, and the anger resulted in really dark poetry. And I was born and raised in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and I came to the United States when I was 10. And we came to New York City, and we settled down in Brooklyn. And I love the American spirit, the straightforwardness of New Yorkers, and it inspired me no end. And I learned English very quickly. I won a spelling bee after 1 year of being here. So I caught on to English fast, and it changed my life. And I'm so happy to be an American. And look, Sean, I'm wearing red, white, and blue earrings. I am a naturalized American, and fell in love with English, resulted in poetry, and not just poetry, but spoken word, actually, performance poetry. And once I got in front of an audience, that was it. I felt like this was my mission in life. And that's how my writing got started, when I got pissed off at my parents. And then I got pissed off at a lot of other things. And I get my subjects. In terms of my writing, I write about the hypocrisy of different themes in life, like religion, like sexuality, like relationships and politics. Basically, I write about the politics of everything, the politics of how we got here, the politics of the media, politics of how we're fed messages and we listen to everybody instead of listening to ourselves. And I found my soul early in life, and I stuck to it. I listened to me. I don't listen to parents, teachers, holy books. I don't listen to anybody but me, and that's who I am.
And you said you found English to be more expressive, right?
English is a kaleidoscope of different feelings and you got 10 words, like for the word happy. It could be joyous, it could be ecstatic, it could be passionate. It's just, I love English. I am in love. It's a relationship, and it's the best relationship I've ever had.
And I guess what kind of politics or like political views are in your poetry? Like, is it more critical of people in power, or?
It's not so much about people in power. It's about what's stupid and what's not. I'm anti-stupidity, okay? And then not a question of left and right, progressive or not progressive. I mean, there's stupid people on both parties and other parties. And I believe in freedom to think, to speak, to perform. I believe in every individual has a right to a journey in life. The most wonderful thing is to be born, and then you find out who you are by doing a journey, not just by reading astrology or reading books. Or it's a challenge to question society, and that's what I've been doing. I've been questioning left, right, center, and Sometimes I'm I'm like I'm pro-choice. Every woman should have a right to abortion, but I think abortion is murder. You're killing a life that's growing inside you. I've never been confused about that issue. I could never have an abortion for any reason, and I never got pregnant, so that issue I didn't have to face. But that's an example of coming from both directions. I believe women should have a choice, but I think abortion is murder.
So, like, you believe, sometimes you have a belief, but you don't think that belief should be enforced on other people.
No,
as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Every woman should make up her own mind.
Yeah. I guess it's like the legalizing marijuana argument. Like, people seem to think that means you're either for smoking marijuana or not. It's just whether you think other people should be able to.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people get drunk and kill other people, and that's legal.
Yeah.
I mean, drinking is legal. Smoking. I mean, how many people lose their lives to cancer because of smoking and lung disease? It's legal. So why shouldn't pot be legal? Pot was never blamed for cancer or you just can't smoke while you're driving. That's about it. But I think pot should be legalized, yeah. I tried it once, it wasn't for me. But again, I believe, why not? If cigarettes and booze can kill and it's legal, then pot should definitely be legalized.
Yeah. So do you think like poetry that questions society and things like that, is that more an American thing, or was that in Argentina at all? Like, what was the art?
I think there's an underground in every country. It's just that in America, and particularly, well, not everywhere in America, but in New York City, it's much easier to unleash your performance poetry and your feelings, and it's just much more free. In Buenos Aires, I probably would have been underground, and I wouldn't have been able to have a law career. I have a law career, and I'm not even a lawyer, but I have my own business, and I enjoy it tremendously. I fight insurance companies, so I get to be a bad girl and get paid for it. Because you can't be a good girl and fight bureaucracy. So I fight insurance companies on behalf of people that get hurt in accidents. I work with a great law firm. And that's my life. That's all I've been doing. I don't have any other skill.
So you're equally passionate about your poetry and your regular job, is what you're saying?
Yes. It's not just a job, they're both missions. I'm successful. I took my attitude. I was diagnosed as an authority problem. And I had shrinks, and they all tried to change my attitude. And if these shrinks had succeeded in changing my attitude, I wouldn't have the attitude to fight for a living. And that's what I get paid for. And I love doing it. And
so your open mic is, the big thing about it, you said, is free speech and like anything goes.
Yeah, there's no censorship. As an American, I have become familiar with Lenny Bruce, with Richard Pryor, with Bill Hicks, with Sam Kinison, George Carlin, Mae West, Isadora Duncan. All of these rebels changed my life. They practically live in my mind. Each one has a room in my head, and that's where my passion for writing came from, and my passion for expression.
And the Isadora Duncan, you said that's where you got the idea to change your name.
Yeah.
Viviana Duncan.
My name is Viviana Duncan, and Duncan comes from Isadora Duncan because I'm a dancer too. And my dancing was always influenced by her and her freedom. She broke away from ballet in the Victorian era, wearing only a toga, and she started blasting off to music. And I was doing that since I was 9, but I didn't know who Isadora was. And when I saw a film about her, and a film of her actually dancing, which is very short, I found myself there. I found she had my moves. So I figured she came first. And so between singing and dancing and writing, that's where my healing comes from. This is where I find myself. I find myself when I feel the passion, I know it's right.
And you said like a lot of other open mics aren't as like welcome to different perspectives as yours is?
Well, some people are shocked by my performances, and I never care what the audience thinks. My philosophy is that the minute you care about what the audience thinks, then you dilute the message, you dilute your soul, and you don't get a chance to be who you really are. That being said, I think open mics are like ice cream flavors. There's a different flavor for every poet. I think it's important to have different types of open mics. And each host decides what kind of open mic it's going to be. An open mic usually reflects the personality of the host. And but I enjoy performing in all open mics. Mine is simply uncensored. I have my open mic at 353 Studios. It is a soundproof. It's a soundproof studio which I turned into a theater, and I do proper lighting for performances. And I encourage and I support unleashing of song and words, and the boundaries are up to the performer. That's true freedom, is when you decide what you're going to do and which boundaries you're going to break. It's all up to you. When a performer grabs the mic, the room is theirs.
And has there been times like performers have said things that I guess were even offensive to you, but like I guess you still tolerated it because that's the theme of your open
well, that's
mic,
the whole point of an open mic. Mine is really open to dissenting views. When I say I'm an atheist, not everyone likes it. But then anybody can come up to the mic and extol the virtues of God or Jesus or, whoever they believe in. That's the whole point of an open mic. I might disagree, but everyone has a right to share about their journey in life.
And what can you say about how the open mic got started and everything?
I started running. I've run like 3 or 4 open mics for various lengths of time. This one, Stark Reality, has been going on for 10 years, and we started off in 2006 at the Times Square Arts Center. I had a theater there, and subsequently, I've had a lot of venues because I usually get thrown out. The only venue that didn't throw us out is 353 Studios. They're very open-minded, and as long as I pay the rent of the studio, they don't care. And they're very loyal, and so am I to them. So I appreciate the openness and the freedom that we have at 353 Studios. It is the best place to have any kind of event.
And I guess what can you say about your journey, like as a poet, like how you got started writing, how your craft has improved or changed over the years? And
yeah, I've had heroes. Penny Arcade. In 1995, my writing was always edgy, but it got extra edgy after I saw Penny Arcade in a performance of Bitch, Dyke, Fag, Hag, Whore at the Village Gate Theater in the 90s. I saw it like 6-7 times. I took about 50 people to see it, and it changed it encouraged me to really explode. It encouraged me to listen to my passion and not to be afraid to be in front of people and just enjoy language and poetry and performance and encourage others. The wonderful thing about running an open mic is that I get to see incredible talent in front of the microphone and support them and nurture their arts. A lot of young people come to my open mic. Most of the people are in their 20s and 30s with a smattering of 40s and 50s. So I love it. I love the age range. It's extremely varied. And I also DJ and I MC. MC and DJ, I play rock and roll, I play hip hop, and I love hip hop. And I love the dance, and I love the passion of the music. And that to me is freedom. And that's what an open mic is for. An open mic is the last bastion of freedom.
Yeah.
Without open mics, who would hear your voice? Mm-hmm. Who would hear your music, your songs? Where would you get a chance to dance naked, maybe? Hey, an open mic. I take it literally. Open.
Yeah. Well, because there's no gatekeeper that says like what can be played and
No,
what can't. Yeah.
no. The boundaries are up to the performer. As I said, one of my mottos is from mild to wild, depending upon your style.
And do you think people here, like maybe it's not as easy for them to appreciate like freedom of speech and things like that as far compared to people maybe who came here from other countries?
It helps to have. I'm a very proud American. I can't stand the government that we have right now, but I believe in the American spirit. Okay, I mean, I wrote a poem called "Take Back the Power," and it puts down Thomas Jefferson, for having slaves. How can you write the Declaration of Independence when you own 300 slaves? And that kind of hypocrisy, that's what I write about, hypocrisy, you know? And my heroes that I mentioned before, their inspiration gives me the courage.
I really like that's the most important kind of free speech is the free speech that questions your society or criticizes your government or your country so you can make it better.
Right. A country that doesn't let you question a society is not a democracy. I'm not sure that we really have a big democracy now because of the economic instability, where so many people have so much money and so many people have very little money.
And then they can buy off the media outlets and then they have more of a say.
Right,
Yeah.
right. There's too many wealthy people buying off the media.
Yeah, and
right
the
wing, left
politicians
wing,
and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just read that the DNC crafted the campaign against Bernie. They pushed Bernie out in favor of, and I would have loved him to be elected. I'm not sure he would have won.
Yeah.
But he was the only honest voice in the doing campaigns. The only one.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like they learned their lesson because they're trying to bring Hillary up again. But what are they gonna
That's why I'm an independent. I don't go left or right. I just, I have a bullshit thermometer.
Yeah.
I have a little antenna in my mind, and when the bullshit thermometer goes off, that's what I write about.
Yeah.
It's not a question of left and right. It's a question of justice.
And you said you got some criticism from people on the left with one of your poems about 9/11. You said that,
Yeah, you can't come into my city and destroy 2 buildings and 5,000 people and expect me to be, happy about that. So you just don't do that.
Yeah.
And particularly in New York City. But I'm against terrorism.
And you said like the controversy was why? Because they thought somehow the people.
Well, they thought that that capitalism deserved a spanking.
Yeah.
That the World Trade Center represented capitalism, and that they needed a message. Well, you know what? Killing is not right.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just not right. That you just don't do it that way.
Yeah. I guess that's sort of a similar logic to people who think you can just punch someone for supporting Trump, like whatever. Like
yeah. I mean, Trump is an aberrant, deviant, no good. But you know what? He's only a little smattering of history.
Yeah.
I came here when Watergate was going on, and I saw a president. I saw America get rid of a president legally.
Yeah.
When it all became too much, he said goodbye. So we're going to get rid of him legally. We have a constitution.
Yeah.
And we have a few politicians that listen to it. And I hope Mr. Mueller helps us out because we're in trouble. We're in a lot of trouble. But we still have freedom to write, rent a studio, put a microphone in front of an audience. And it's important to unleash your talents, not to sing in the shower, not to hide your poetry under the mattress.
Yeah.
Because those are messages that people need to hear.
And you never know what will resonate with people and what won't. And I guess even if it doesn't,
You don't know, but I write poetry about abuse. I had a horrible childhood. I broke away from my family, and I decided to follow my own path. And when I write about the abuse, when I write about my anger towards my father or mother, there's people in the audience that come up to me afterwards and they say thank you, because they can't express it, and they're holding on to all this anger instead of just letting it out. You know, anger is not evil, it just needs to be heard.
Yeah.
Anger is a voice inside you that needs to be heard, and once it's heard, it's not as bad.
And then there's, I guess, that common human experience, like even though it's not the same family they grew up with, like people connect that way because the same emotions. And,
Yes, family to me is not about blood. It's not about being connected biologically. To me, it's about love, and love can. Your family could be your friends. Your family could be your audience, especially for performers. You know, I never met an artist that had a father knows best childhood. I never. I've been performing 25 years, and but family are the people that support you.
And I guess, like, what's the latest news with Stark Reality, and what do you have planned for the future?
Well, our next show is November 17th, and our feature is Derek 57, an amazing bassist. He plays music and he produces music, and he's going to be our feature. And we're doing it twice a month at 353 Studios. And every show is different. That is the most amazing part of being a MC and DJ of an open mic, that is different all the time. You never know who's going to be before the microphone. And there's just, sometimes there's just amazing moments that you want to repeat. And I'm hoping to get somebody to film our performers and put them on YouTube with permission from each performer. I think that would help. We have a Stark Reality channel on YouTube.
Yeah, I was, maybe I could help out with
Yeah.
that because,
Yeah.
I have to do like a video assignment anyway, and I want to make another newsletter for the podcast.
Sean, I got the most out of the box people anywhere. And I really want to thank you. This is my first interview, and it's great. I'm proud that I'm doing an interview with you. By listening to your interviews on YouTube, I actually I learn a lot about the people that you're interviewing, but I learn a lot about you. Your empathy.
Yeah.
The way you just let people be themselves, it's just amazing.
Yeah. Well, I like people who, I guess, are real, if that makes sense.
Yeah, authentic.
Yeah.
That's a great word, authentic.
Yeah.
That's without authenticity, I don't know. I hear a lot of poetry. I go to open mics, not as much as I should, but I go to other open mics, and there's a lot of poetry, but a lot of the poetry is very flowery. A lot of poets don't talk about themselves and their challenges in life and how they grew up. So I know all these poets so many years, but I don't know them at all because they write poetry that is not personal.
It's because they're afraid to get personal? Or?
I don't know. I just don't know. But me writing about myself, I mean, when my poetry is very edgy and very graphic, people are very shocked, and that's because not that many poets write, let's say, like Sylvia Plath. Of course, she committed suicide. I wouldn't go that far. I'm too chicken shit to commit suicide. I think it takes more courage to live, and honor your art, honor your writing, your singing, your dancing. Just the most important thing for an artist is to get out of the house.
Yeah.
Just grab a microphone, go to an open mic. There's a lot of them, and Facebook has a lot of open mics, a lot of events. And it's a great source.
So have you done like poetry festivals or anything like that? Or is it mainly
yes. Oh, how can I forget? Okay, so I just did a poetry festival on my birthday, September 2nd. And I was awarded the New York City Beat Poet Laureate award nomination. And it felt great. You know, some people think I'm good. I don't get a lot of affirmation, maybe because of my political unpredictability of my writing and the graphicness, the graphic nature of my erotic poetry. Because I get feminists mad at me, and women that are not feminists get mad at me. I can't seem to please anybody.
Yeah.
Okay, because I believe in empowerment for men and women, not just for women. I think men need to be empowered too.
Yeah.
Because what are men told when they are born? You be a man. Don't cry, don't express yourself, don't this and don't that, you know? And women are also told to shut up, be a good girl. Sex is good before marriage, but not good after marriage. What kind of bullshit is that? Okay, that comes from religion. I believe in good and bad. I believe in Star Wars, the Force. There's evil and there's good in the world. And Star Wars is the Star Wars philosophy. And that's what I believe in. I don't need religion to dictate what I should do, when I should do it, or what I should wear. So I think we're given a gift. When we're born, it's a gift to find out why you're here. And it's quite a challenge to keep your, to walk your path. It's really a big challenge because you have a lot of influences. You got your parents, you got religion, you got your teachers in school, and you got your shrinks. They want you to be this and they want you to be that. You know, when we're born, we're like a recipe. People have a recipe for who we should be instead of asking us who we are.
Yeah.
All right?
So, I mean, usually when I interview poets, I have them like read a poem of theirs, but I know yours has like a whole performance with it. So
I can read one I brought.
Okay.
You want? Okay. I had a feeling you were going to be asking me that. Okay. I'm going to read a beat poem. My glasses. Oh, there they are. Duh. Okay. So one of the messages we get. Since we're born, the concept of time. We're told to act our age all the time. Okay, we're taught that when we are in our 20s and our 30s and our 40s, we should be a certain way, act your age, right? And you can't have sex at 80. Well, who the fuck knows? You know, I haven't reached that age yet, but I believe that you can do anything at any age. All right, and so this is called beat. You know, when you get into your 40s, people start asking you, when are you going to retire? To me, retirement is like, if you're doing what you love, it's really hard to retire. You know, am I going to go to Florida, you know? So that's what this poem is about. It's called Beat. Beat starts, heart thumps, tick-tock, beat heat, words aimed at truth, ruthless dark, pummeling correctness, beat of time, wrinkles in your mind, flesh is not lined. Do not cave to the beat of time. Rock your mind, body will dance. When will you retire? Retire, retire, or die in Florida or burn under the sun? Rest, rest, rest. Time to age. I rage at time. I control time. I decide time. I do not retire or die in Florida or Arizona. I take water and red rocks, climb higher and higher. Poets do not retire. Fighters and rebels do not retire. We get higher and higher till we bleed reality and suck the blood of the retired. Wake the breathing dead, blast beat of bullet words. Wake up the retire, give them shovels for the graves. Do not retire. Ask me to blast you into dance. Follow the fire of beats. Beat of times, rock and roll will make you whole. Dance to beats, retire the rest. Party with life, rip her clothes off, rip his calm and beat the silence. Dance like animals in heat, fuck like beats. I retire normality. Paint red, green, neon pinks, yellow circles of sun beating black shadows on gray streets on this city that never sleeps. New York City does not retire, gets higher and higher, braver when blood strikes. New York City does not retire, gets hotter in the beat of hot streets. He tells me move to the country, the trees, hammocks rocking to the breeze. I say no, I stay in city streets, dance to beat of words, bleed New York City into my soul, dancing my rock and roll, angering the retired into life. Grab your cock, wet your cunt, and come, orgasm, scream, it's not a dream. Beat of your heart, beat of drums, pulse of city streets, do not retire, reach higher for the beat, heat, red like blood, your soul not meant to be quiet, be a riot, be a scream, be the beat of a rock and roll dream, speed, jazz beat, do not retire. Don't stop the clock, keep beating, repeating the fire of beats, forever drumming, forever coming, forever breathing, fucking to the beat, do not retire, the fire just burn, burn. Burn!
Nice.
Does that nail it?
Yeah. So that was, I guess, a response to maybe people you knew.
Asking me what am I going to do when I retire? I have a great job. I get to run an open mic where I can free myself at least twice a month and help others come out of their shells. One of the things about being wild is that it's like fever. Some people catch it.
Yeah.
Some people catch it. And we get comics that come into stark reality and they go nuts, which I've seen them perform in other venues and they're quite proper. But they come to my open mic and they unleash this fury.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to encourage not just freedom, but freedom of the self. Whoever you are.
Like the more you be yourself, the more other people feel free to be themselves. So.
Yes. That's why I never care what the audience thinks, because then I won't be me.
Yeah.
And I invite people to come to the microphone and be what they want to be. You know, some people are not ready for wild. That's why the motto is from mild to wild. The performer makes the decision, not just how far to go. And it's a great place to experiment. If you want to do something that other people don't like, you know, and it's, I feel great. After reading this poem, you don't need therapy. Just grab a keyboard and do it. You know, I can't write without a keyboard. Paper and pen, can't do it. My brain can't.
That's interesting. Yeah, I guess it works differently from everybody because some people think writing is more expressive with a paper.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Nope. The speed of my mind and the speed of my typing match on the keyboard. Without MS Word, I'm nothing. It's true. MS Word, thank you.
So I guess any final thoughts or things you'd like to say, or maybe where people can keep updated about Stark Reality and all that?
Yeah, follow Stark Reality on Facebook. It's an important source of connection between us. And we do the open mic the first and third Friday of every month. And everyone's invited. And my email is the best way to reach me, which is spunkypoetress@aol.com. Believe it or not, I'm still on AOL. Spunky Poetress is SPUNKYPOETRESS@AOL. And thank you very much, Sean.
Oh yeah, thank you for coming on and reading your poem and telling your story. Yeah.
It's my first announcement as Viviana Duncan. It's very empowering to have my own name.
Yeah. Creating yourself kind of thing, right?
Yes, my message to the world is search for who you are and you will find the passion that you should follow, the path, whatever makes you happy. But individuality is a rare treat, because we're told from the time we're kids, we're told what to be, who to be, what to wear, and who to be with, you know. And I'm glad I escaped that path, the path of conformity. I prefer the path of individuality.
Mm-hmm. And I guess that's the kind of people I have on this show, people that chose that path, individuality.
Yes.
Yes.
And we need you. There aren't that many people that want to hear from the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
The road less traveled. And it's a hard path, but it's worth it because when I wake up in the morning, I know who I am.
All right.
Even though I have a new name, I know who I am.
Well, I think that does it for this episode of BSing with Sean K. If you want to keep updated with future episodes, go to bsingwithseank.blogspot.com. That's BSING with SeanK.blogspot.com. And there's a link to my Twitter, my Facebook, my YouTube channel, and everything else. And that's about it for this episode. I'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you.